In this lesson, I would like to show you how to make use of pivot table and pivot chart to answer an Excel analytics question. This lesson is meant to showcase you how powerful it is, the pivot table and pivot chart for Excel analytics. And do not worry if you cannot follow certain operations. I will cover each function for pivot table and pivot chart in details in the following lesson. The question we want to answer here is how the gender and the class of a passenger has to do with his or her survival. In particular, if you are a male or female and sitting in first, second, or third class, does it have anything to do with your survival? In this lesson, we would like to show you a head start in answering it using the pivot table and pivot chart. First of all, let us draw a pivot table by selecting a cell in the passenger list. Go to Insert, go to Pivot Table, and the whole passenger list table is highlighted. And this is the highlighted table portion. And let's click OK. Now a new pivot table is being put in a new sheet. In order to do the Excel analytics, we want to know what are the fields that we are interested. We are interested in the gender and class field with survival because we want to know about the gender and class and does they have anything to do with the survival. So let's put the class in the rows, gender in the rows, and the survival in the columns. Now let's go to the design, report layout, show in outline form, so that you can see a better representation here. We can see that for the class, we only have 1, 2, and 3 unique values. So we have first class, second class, and third class. Those unique values will be listed down here. And since we put the gender under the T class, so the gender will be nested and the unique value will be repeated in each of the class. So we have female, male, female, male, female, male. Now for the survival, we also have two values, 0, not survive, and 1, survive. Alright, now we have the information being put here, and what we want to do is to fill up the values here. So what we want to fill up here is the count of the passengers. So to do this, we want to count one of the fields. The best choice is using a survive field. Now we change it to count. Click OK. Now we can see that there are 3 female passengers in class 1. They are not survive. And there are 91 of them. They are surviving. A lot. So if we are interested in who are the 3, they are not survive. We double click on 3. You can see that those are not surviving. And the count of the fields is to count the number of non-empty fields in the survive. Since we know that the survive is either 0 or 1, so they can't be non-empty here. And by doing this, we are able to get the passenger information that are related to the survival in relationship with class and gender. But these values are just numbers, and which is very difficult for a layman to visualize. Excel provides a pivot chart feature. So to draw a pivot chart, go to Insert. We just choose a recommended chart. Choose one of the charts. Since we are highlighting one of the cells in the pivot table, it will automatically draw the table. It will automatically provide you a recommended chart based on the table where the cells lies. So let's click OK. And we have the information here. So from this analytics, we know that the female of class 1 has a better survival rate compared to others, while the male at the third class, there are a lot of them compared to others. They are not survive. And from the story of Titanic, we know that females and babies are given better chances for a safe boat compared to male. And we do not know whether the chances are in relationship with the classes, but from here we see that the woman from the first class has a better survival chance compared to the female of the second class. So probably the classes also has to do with the privilege of having a safe boat. Now by using the pivot chart, we can easily visualize the relationship of the gender and classes with the survival. How powerful it is, and we can easily see. If you are interested in any of the number, just double click on it. It will show you the details of the passenger. And that's it for this Headstart session. I believe you will be surprised how easy and powerful the pivot chart it is. Now from the next lessons onwards, I will be focusing on the pivot table and the functions of it, and subsequently followed by the pivot chart.